Whoa, it's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. It's like April, sometime in April, not sure. I'm here on my ultra quiet neighborhood. We're out playing, Owl's hanging out, eating some chips, playing with his new ladybug ball. The roses are starting to bloom, and we're just keeping ourselves busy, you know, just like everybody else. Just keep yourself busy. Sorry about the movement there. Keep yourself busy and take care of the loose ends. It's funny, I think, I don't know about you guys, but we sort of crossed like a low point recently on this whole journey. You know, I think, you know, you do your best to keep super positive and keep spiritually fit and all that stuff. And then, you know, the nature of this game we're involved with does get a little bit overwhelming. And, I think a lot of people have had to sort of like get to a point of like to regroup. You know, there were a lot of protests the last couple days with people who have absolutely had enough and are challenging their rights to be free versus suspect directives from health officials. And then, you know, just the basic logistics of what's going on. I think that, you know, we've been doing this for over a month. And I think it like, I don't know who it isn't wearing on. I think it's just the nature of the game, right? And so we had a tough weekend.
Daddy?
Yeah, Bird.
In 2 weeks I'll be 6.
Oh, in 2 weeks you'll be 6. Don't you have to be 5 first?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be 5 first before you're 6. So yeah, it was
20,000 weeks I'll be 6.
okay. And so
Even 20.
okay. Yeah.
I'll be 6.
You will be 6 in 20 weeks. It's longer than that. And so yeah, I think it was like one of those things where we kind of had to reach a low point, some friction around the house. You know, the inmates have become a little bit cranky, and so we regrouped. We woke up today and kind of have seized reality, if you will. You know, I went this morning and did some foraging, got some supplies, and I went and got a new tube for my bike because I got a slow leak, but I'm gonna fix this, and this will be my backup tube. But I just want to ride, and I actually got a new cable to fix my cable from the slam the other day. And yeah, there's that sort of, I just want to say bravo to the kids who are cleaning out their skate park that was filled with sand. Oh no. Oh, okay, good. I really thought that was pretty darn cool. And you know, I think there's a lot of, like I said, as intense as this is, I'm definitely trying to stay on the positive vibe with it all. You know, we've been hanging out. We do garden walks the last couple of days where we go and we walk around the neighborhood and we look at everybody's gardens. You know, fortunately we live in one of those kind of neighborhoods where people are fully take care of their gardens, and we go and talk to the neighbors and say hello and you know, so there's been a lot of positivity on that vibe of like getting to know the neighbors and all of that kind of stuff. You're done in the sun? Is it too much for you? You're gonna put the balls in the garage? And you know, trying to rally. I think, you know, on one level it's pretty hard to stay out of the old like this is nonsense vibe, and we're being fully like co-opted. And then there's the other space where you're like, you know, man, this is God's gift to us all to slow it all down at the same time and do some gardening. So, you know, like yesterday, it was funny. We went to Home Depot yesterday and to get some flowers to plant in the backyard and do some of that kind of gardening with the wife. And I don't think she had really been out into sort of like a mass like scene. Like she's been busy working, but she's working at home a lot. And, you know, we were hiding up out at the top of that hill in Montecito for, you know, almost a month. And so we're back here, but I do all the interfacing with the markets and all that kind of stuff. So we went to Home Depot and, you know, it was a Sunday, so it was fully packed. And people, you know, everyone was just there to do their gardening essentially and, you know, their projects, you know, catch up on your projects. But it's, you know, everybody had masks on and there were lines to, you know, for the physical distancing inside the store and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we were in like one of those parking lots where there's a Target and just everybody's walking around with their masks on. And she's like, I think it finally hit her where she was like, oh my God, they finally sci-fi'd us. Like sci-fi'd us. And I was like, it would trip me the way her take on it was like, they finally sci-fi'd us. And it really is, it hit me too when you put it like that. Like, yeah, we have finally been put into a real life science fiction novel. And call it a massive mind experiment, control experiment, lethal virus experiment, all sorts of experiments going on here. And at the same time, you know, as I was trying to talk to her about it all, it was like, the one thing you can't do is really like put your head in the sand about what really is going on. Well, I mean, it's hard to tell what really is going on, but I mean, like that the paradigm is shifted. And it's shifted in a way that will never unshift. Like the ship has left the harbor, so to speak. And I think, you know, on a certain level, it's really hard to gauge when you're at home a lot. Fortunately, you know, for me, I do go out and do my hunter-gathering thing and, you know, go gather supplies and, you know, replace what we've used. Because I'm still relying on a backstock of supplies to, right, God knows what's coming down the pipe. And, you know, I got some information that a lot of the meat packers are having like trouble, and their supplies are pretty low. So I went, and that's my tip for the day, and I got that through the No Agenda guys, and they're pretty reliable. And they were reading some information that their sources were giving them about, like, you know, it's probably a good idea to get a little backstock of the carne. If you're a meat eater, if you're a vegan, dude, you're good to go on this whole thing, dude. That's the one section of the market that does not get cleared out. It tells you something. But so yeah, man, I think it's been a lot. It's been a lot. You know, there's a lot of stress with children and what we're doing and re-engaging with the thing and sitting on the edge of a giant urban center where, like, you know, people are nervous, and rightfully so. It's, you know, today I was out I went to go get some bike supplies, and I'm definitely trying to, hey, support your local shops. I know it's inconvenient and all of that stuff, but it's funny, the whole big thing where you used to be able to order online and it would be there in a couple days, well, that's gone. So it's easier to, I called the local bike shop and I set up an appointment, and I went down there, and you know, I had my 10 o'clock appointment with the bike shop, and I shopped locally, and I've gotten super hyper aware about not buying anything that is made in China. I think that is like, there's a proactive move we make, is we just don't buy anything with China, and we have to stop using Amazon. I mean, Jeff Bezos, what did he make? Like, he got some ridiculous amount of money on this, and he's putting the postal service out of business. Like, so we need to stop using all of these things and start shopping locally. And you know, look, I can fall into the trap of convenience like the next guy, but there's no convenience anymore. Like, that's sort of one of the upsides is your Amazon Prime is no longer like functioning, dude. Like, yeah, like you're just put in the back of the queue because other stuff's at the front of the queue, and you know, the whole system's being taxed. But so I went and, you know, got some bike parts and supported the local bike shop, you know, paying more, but that's okay. But I think I had, again, as I sat, you know, I had to wait outside while they went and got what I needed, and took my bike in, and I got some cables because I think I smashed my cable when it went off the cliff the other day. And I was just looking at this plaza, you know, with a bunch of stores and shops and stuff that I would never go to, you know, anyhow. But I think that, like, if you go look around, is every one of those closed businesses represents a number of people that don't have jobs, and a number of businesses that aren't functioning. And then every one of those like business spaces represents, you know, a commercial property owner who's not getting paid. And you really just, like, it was like one of those things where I just started to really look around. I mean, I'm aware of it, but it's, you know, I have these moments where I'm like, geez, this is hectic, dude. Like, I was looking at some froyo shop, like, wow, you know, there's some froyo guy. You know, that guy's sitting at home, like, how is he sweating and then you think about like the people who make the stuff for the froyo shop, and you know, it just starts going from there. And I don't, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, I think don't really take into account how many people it takes to change a light bulb, like literally in our society. I mean, it takes one person to change a light bulb, but you know what? How many people does it take to make a ladder? How many people does it actually take to make a light bulb? Someone has to package it. Someone needs to put it in a truck and ship it to the store. Someone needs to take it out of the truck and put it on the shelf so that you can, like, we sort of, I think our society jokes, how many people does it take to take a light bulb? But I think if you really back it up under this, is like, there's a whole machine behind a light bulb. And when we think about, you know, just like a froyo stand being dormant for a while, like all those froyo realities are exponential. So I do think that, like, we have been sci-fi'd, and it's a very heavy time, because I think it's very hard as a human being to be unaware of the energy. I mean, you can put your head in the sand and stick a bong in your face and put a bottle of booze to your lips and pretend that you don't feel the energy field. But you know, it's you are part of the energy field, and everybody's part of the energy field, and we're all here together in God's grace. And I think there's for me, just feeling that and being aware is pretty heavy. And then you just got your own family dynamics, and just the stress of it all is, you know, children want to go back to school and see their friends and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, on the other side, it's like, here we are, kids are playing in the street and the whole thing. So it's like more people are out playing in the street than I've ever seen before. and walking, and there's like this family down here that picnics out on their lawn every day, dude. It's like there's a lot of cool things I hope we can hang on to, but I also know that I think the tough times are yet to be here yet. I think this is the calm before the real work gets to going, and we're all going to have to really like pull our weight coming into this. There's going to be the freeloader mentality is not going to be here. We're all going to have to go in and do what we can to prop everything back up, and I think that a lot of people are realizing that. So that's where there's this sort of halfway, like, they say, you know, when you get like, you know, dealing with like depression and stuff, hitting the bottom isn't the dangerous place. It's the climb back out of depression. That's where a lot of people actually do themselves out. It's not going into depression. It's climbing out of depression when they realize how far they're down. And I think there's a lot of that kind of energy now as people are like realizing like it's going to be a climb. And, you know, we're all going to have to climb together. And so you got to regroup. And I think it was a regroup is just, you know, we got our ass kicked this weekend, you know, emotionally and mentally. You know, God's been there the whole time, but, you know, it's that disconnect from God's energy field where, you know, the overwhelming nature of just being a human being caught in a human system run by folly is overwhelming sometimes. And I think what broke the spell for me was I was talking to some dude named Tony at the supermarket about teenagers and children and just how we were going to get through this together. And I think for me, sometimes that's the trouble with staying, like why physical distancing is important, but social distancing is dangerous, because I need to actually go talk to people. I talk to more people than I've ever talked to in my life. It's ironic, like how this has worked is like everyone I encounter, I just go, how are you doing? How are things going? And we have a little, then I go, what's your name? I go, my name's so-and-so. I take a moment to get to know everybody, because I really I need to make human contact as much as anybody else through this thing. And I find that I generally bump into people that we're getting through this. We're gonna get through this. It's a journey. It is a definite journey. And sometimes that journey is just, you know, taking one on the chin and regrouping and waking up the next morning and being like, all right, man, I'm gonna go fix my flat tire today. I'm gonna do some gardening. I'm gonna do my exercises. I'm gonna clean my garage again. You know what I mean? But also I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna put my positive energy forward, and I've definitely moved myself out of any of the truther kind of stuff as a dude who's fully pretty aware. I just stick to the positive message and middle of the road information at this point. Stay away from any of the fear porn, because I don't see where it serves anymore. I've noticed my what I check out for information has definitely shifted to I don't need to, I already am there's already enough madness out there. I don't need to manifest that, if that makes any sense. And after this is all, what? You want to get up on the tailgate? Do you want to come say hi really quick? Because I'm about to turn this off.
What?
This video. You want to come say hi to everybody?
No, I want to watch.
Oh, well, there you are. What have you been doing today? Did you help Daddy battle slugs? We got slugs in the garden last night. Did we get the slugs? How'd we do?
We got their home.
Yeah. We're slug warriors, huh? Yeah. How do you feel about today? Do you feel good?
Yeah.
Did you get a new ball?
Yeah.
I got you a new ball, huh?
Yeah.
What kind of ball?
A ladybug. A pink ladybug.
I got him a pink ladybug ball. He's fired up. So anyway, this is The Illusion. I just wanted to check in and share with you. And Anytown, USA, there it is. As quiet as could be. You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye!
Ow, ow, don't pull my hair, ow.